Good evening. Call the Hawarden, Iowa City Council to order on Wednesday, November the 8th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. All present are council members and staff. If you wish to address the council tonight, there are no public hearings, but you can address the council on number 1C, open business from the community. As we always start, our standard agenda item number 1A is the approval of the October 25th, 2023 City Council meeting minutes. The council members and myself have had that in their packet since Jacob got back from the Army. Is there a motion for approval of the October 25th City Council meeting minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Rob. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. Questions? All in favor then of the approval of the October 25th, 2023 City Council meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 4-0. Approval of the November 8, 2023 claims for payment. Start with Rob for questions.
No questions.
Patty, any questions?
No, I have none.
John?
None, thank you.
Monty? Nope. Is there a motion for November 8th claims for payment?
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Patty. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by John.
Oops.
All in favor of the approval of the November 8th, 2023 claims for payment, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It passes 4-0. Next, open business from the community. Hearing none, we'll move on to the mayor's report. Veterans Day is observed on November the 11th. The important purpose of Veterans Day is a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Our thanks to all of our local veterans for their services and those present here tonight. I want to thank all of those that had their name on a ballot for positions within our community and to congratulate those who were successful in getting elected to those positions. Thank you to everyone who took the time to vote. And Jacob, I'm sure, is talking with those folks that will be a part of this board about the Municipal Leadership Academy. We continue to be without a city administrator, police chief in place, an administrative assistant, and numerous police officers. My thanks go to those employees that are doing many extra duties to fill in the gaps and to keep things running as smoothly as possible. I know these are difficult times without these positions being filled, and I ask our citizens to be patient and to give their thanks to our city staff for all of their extra time and energy that they are giving to our community. We'll move on to staff reports, and tonight we're going to start with Carol, to my right. Threw you off a little bit, didn't I?
Well, we had a big day today. Northwest REC showed up with a big check, so we got to take pictures. We were able to deposit the $250,000 for the fire department. That was exciting to have that come in. I've been working on a couple of more grants. My 2023 year grants are now coming available through FEMA, so I will be writing a couple of those. We'll see what we can get done there. Other than that, I'm ready for Friday off, I guess.
Good. Everyone in the city deserves that, and thanks for your work with that. That's a great REC. That's wonderful for our fire department. Jenny? Nothing, thank you. Okay, thank you. Jacob?
I just want to do an update on the fire trucks that we are selling. They had looked into doing the online auction. They're still looking at possibly, they wanted to hold until I gave you guys an update. They do not, that site that was given does not have a minimum threshold. So they were hesitant to put it on there because then it could sell for whatever somebody bids for it at the end of the term of the bid. So they wanted me to update you guys on that, that they were kind of hesitant to do that. Another thing that I was going to talk about, just give an update on the dog ordinance again. I've been in talks with Patty within the last week, and we are still looking at different possibilities. And we are training and getting ready for our budget season coming up, so that's going to be exciting. We are going to have a special council meeting sometime in November to pass our annual finance report, but everything is going fairly smoothly. That's all I got.
you have a date you're looking at in November?
It has got to be probably later.
Okay.
I'm looking at possibly that last week, which is just a Monday through Thursday. I don't anticipate that the whole meeting, even with 3 things on it, will take very long.
Okay. Thank you. Travis?
Some of you might have noticed Holstein Construction they have to dig out and replace a few defective spots along Avenue L that we've noticed through their construction. The tear out has been done today, and they'll be completed by the end of the week. DGR has noted a few other final punch list items that they'll need to be completed before the final pay request is submitted. The WAPA rates for 2024, which is our electric supplement power that we purchase, that will remain steady through 2024. There's still a drought adder on there from last year, but that's evaluated yearly, so that could drop off, or if it got worse, then they could increase that. But next year it's going to remain steady. Missouri River Energy Services has notified us at our last meeting last Wednesday, of a 2.7% increase, which is estimated to be just under $36,000 annually. So out of $1 million, it's going to go up $36,000. With our power mix, we get 79% of our purchased electricity from WAPA and 21% from Missouri River Energy Services. So that increase through MRES is less than what it could be, since our power mix is lower through MRES.
And then MRAS went down a few years ago, about 2%, right?
Yep. Yeah, they went down 2% 2 years ago. They're flat last year, so this increase, and it's just for the wholesale power that they have to purchase on the market, has been increasing, so.
Thank you. Council comments or questions for staff? Hearing none, we'll move on to other agenda items. Agenda item number 3, council member vacancy update.
All right, so I've been in talks with the league to make sure that we're doing this right and getting it all done. We have to put a notice in the paper because our citizens have the right to file a petition requiring it be filled by a special election. I think that the probability of that is extremely low, since we just had an election and the person that we are choosing is the top elector for that. So the intent that we'll put in the paper will just basically say we are going to fill it by appointment, and we plan to appoint Christy Warner as our interim for the month of December until her term starts January 1. So it does need a motion to go through the process with a voice vote.
Yep. And a motion by Monty. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Patty. This is a motion to, as Jacob just said, to put the notice in the paper and continue with the appointment of Christy Warner to the city council. Questions? All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? It passes 4-0. Just have a question in that regard for oath of office. When do those need to be completed?
I believe it has to be, are you talking about for the appointment or for the new ones?
For the new ones, yep.
It will have to be very early in January. I'll get the exact time and date that we need to do it, probably this week from the league. They've been pushing out a lot of this election information since yesterday.
Good, thank you very much. Agenda item number 4, approval of hire for a Public Works Administrative Assistant.
All right, so we had more interviews, and we came down to the finalist for this as Erica Lopez, and we recommend that we we have given her conditional offer pending the approval of this, and also for background check and the other checks.
Been a motion by Monty. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by John. Further questions or clarifications? All in favor of the approval for the hire of the Public Works Administrative Assistant, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? That passes 4-0. Agenda item number 5, discussion on police chief and police department.
All right, so for this one, I have two different things. I want to talk about the police chief position, and I want to talk about the police department. Neither one of them are that long. I just want to give you guys updates. Police chief, we are still in the process of testing, and I did want to kind of make a clarification as a difference from the posting in the paper last week. It's not necessarily hired, it's more of a conditional offer right now. And pending all of those tests. So what we need to discuss is what happens if these tests do not go forward. And then as far as the police department and my talks with Cody, it is, it's very busy and there's not enough assistance. Yes, we have the county helping us, but as far as the in-house paperwork, he has been putting in a lot of hours. This last pay period, he did 116 hours, which is a 2-week time period. And he's hoping that we can find some help fast. So,
I would suggest that we continue to hire the police officers and not wait till there is a police chief because of this, needing assistance. And are you asking in the event the police chief does not
succeed in
in
the testing.
the testing?
We need to know which direction to go.
Well, that,
our choices.
I would,
Well,
go ahead.
I think their choice is either go with option 2, which would be the other candidate, and see if it's still available,
Or
or
restart.
we start over.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I
the
think
only
that's
two
where we're
choices
at.
we have. So,
I agree.
And then if we start over, do we continue to use Jeff Kaler, or do we
Me too.
try to go at it on our own?
my opinion would be we'd just do it on our own. I think we have enough people that have enough experience with that instead of costing us additional money, but that's my opinion.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, that that we visit with the number 2 person. I'm not sure if he's available again. And then I agree with what Rob is saying on how to proceed with that.
One question I think that would be worth looking into is figuring out before the offer's made, what's the possibility they're gonna pass these, at least, you know, I thought that was gonna be done through the.
I did too. I thought
Yeah.
it would be done a little earlier than it was.
Save the city time and expense
Yes.
if we had some sort of indication of that. So I don't know who can perform those tests, but if they can be performed ahead of time before making that, maybe we can save the city some
Yeah.
steps.
I agree with that, too. Do we need to have a couple of council members, meet with Jacob and the mayor on this? Discuss it a little bit more
Yeah.
and try to meet with, well, we won't meet with number 2 yet, but.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So that we keep it moving and get in the position of hiring a police officer. Hopefully you'd get one that has the training, already been through it, but if not,
Well, your number 2 doesn't have the training. I mean, if you,
No, I mean,
then we gotta start.
we
over.
still got to test him for the same thing, so.
yes.
Which,
So that doesn't shorten us a bit.
No, so do we, yeah, you have to test them, do we just advertise all over again? I mean, see if we can get more. I know that Cody had said that he has put out word at all the colleges in the area, several on,
We're not gonna find the police chief.
no, on the police officer. He's put the word out that we want police officers. Not sure where he's at with that, but it would be good to keep talking about it. Visiting with him and see how far he's gone, if we need, more advertisement out there.
I believe, as far as the PT test, we could test that. The police officer selection test could be either administered by the sheriff's office, or we could send him somebody earlier in the stage, and then the MMPI could be done by the sheriff's office as well. So, if we want to test those individuals, the candidates that we have coming in, so that's at least done
At least the physical.
prior to
Yeah.
that. So,
Agreed.
I think I got what I need.
Okay, that's good then.
Move on to other agenda item number 6, approval of the pay request number 6 to Holstein Excavating, Inc. for Avenue L, $46,309.32. Getting pretty, obviously, as you said in your report, pretty close to being finished.
Yes, after this payment, the only thing left would be a $50,000 mobilization and the 5% retainage, which is $91,992.98. With these payments, we will have come under the original bid, $33,616. But then you take into the sprinkler and the landscaping, that was $23,986. So all in, we're going to be under the bid by $9,630.40. So I think the project, although it kind of scaled out a little longer than we hoped, but it's getting done and it's a good project. So, and to come under, that's,
It's a large project. You never know how long they're going to run. And they've done a wonderful job. All the employees and DGR engineers that I encountered all through it, very helpful. And my grass is growing in the front. Already, it was 2 weeks ago.
Is there a motion for approval of the pay request number 6 to Holstein Excavating?
so move.
Moved by Rob. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by John. All in favor then of the approval of the pay request number 6, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 4-0. Next, agenda item number 7, ordinance number 750, the final reading, ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances by amending provisions pertaining to Chapter 30.06, police officers appointed. Last meeting, this was tabled. We'll ask Jenny how to bring this back.
So because it was tabled, we actually need a majority vote to put it back on the table.
Okay.
And then once it's back on the table, we'll have to have notice and actually take action on it. So I believe it. Put it back on the table, we can't even discuss it until it's back on the table. If that makes sense.
So we make a motion to put it back on the table.
Correct.
I make a motion to put ordinance 750 back on the table.
Been a motion by Patty. Is there a second?
My thought is we really need to do some due diligence to define our process in this policy, and whether it's we sit down and discuss it at some time and put it in the meeting to discuss it, but at this point, I still feel the same way.
Yeah, I think even on number 4 above, we're kind of rubber stamping that without finding a lot of feedback. So it'd be nice to maybe have a little more policy on how to approach the council on approval.
Okay, there's been a motion by Patty to bring ordinance number 750 back on the table. Is there a second? Hearing no second, ordinance number 750 stays tabled. Agenda item number 8, ordinance number 751. This would be the final reading ordinance amending the code by amending provisions pertaining to Chapter 2102, Parent 23, regarding the city administrator employment power. Is there a motion to bring that back onto the table?
I'll make a motion to put it back on the table.
And a motion by Patty. Is there a second? Hearing no second, that does not come back to the table, so ordinance 751 is still tabled. As Rob had mentioned, council then needs to have discussions on the process. That brings us to agenda item number 9. Is
So moved.
motion by Monty. Is there a second?
Could I hold, did we have council comments, or did I miss something in there?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
Call for it.
okay.
Did you wish to say anything?
I just had some things I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Like, we've hired Jacob as interim city administrator, and I believe we've advertised that position, and we've received nobody.
I haven't,
Applications?
but I believe the mayor has received any as inbox
I've
yet
not
either.
either
Okay.
at this point.
Well, I guess I'd like to see, a couple council members meet like we did with the police chief position. There's no need to wait to review that, to consider him. In that event, I suggest we hire a finance officer for his current position, that we start looking at the finance officer, and then he's in the interim, and there's been no applications received. And how do you want to proceed with that, with Jacob? And we talked about hire the police officer. My name was put in to Missouri River Energy Services in beginning of the year. I have worked with them in the past for several years. They are trying to get a group of people from their cities in the Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa region, who, we buy our public power from them. And they are putting a group of people from different cities, like I said. They started out and they had about 13, now they have 21. I think that's what they're sticking with, and they're just calling it an ambassador program. And they want us to be active with Missouri River, which I have gone to some of their meetings, once in Sioux Falls and Orange City. And they offered to take us to Washington, because they go lobby at the federal level on a lot of electric power. There's a lot of bills out there affecting electric power, and they lobby every year. We've sent people in the past from Hawarden, a lot of the Sioux County cities. So they send you, and expenses are paid, so I was interested in going to that. It's February 26th, 7 and 8.
It's not gonna cost me anything? Hell no.
It's meetings with the American Public Power Association the whole time, and you,
Done it. If you've got the time,
yeah. So that's on my agenda, but I just really want to concentrate on the finance officer and Jacob's position right now, too.
How would you like to address that? Do you want that to be on that special meeting agenda, so we can maybe expand that and have discussions in that regard, or?
Yeah, maybe have some open discussion also is on this, how we want to go around is putting a committee together for the hiring committee or whatever.
Yeah.
I think if we can discuss that, I think that would help ease some minds around here, at
Well,
least mine.
Well, I don't want to sit on it for Jacob either. He's just kind of in no man's land right now with it, so, with what he has going on. Could we treat it like we did the police chief position? We discussed it and then we, brought it forward? Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I had some notes wrote down, but
Yeah.
Yes, that'll expand the special meeting, but that's okay. We're here anyway. We can get things completed. Patty, I'm sorry you didn't Hear me on council comments.
I must have, I don't know what,
It's okay.
I don't know. Been running to doctor appointments for my husband all day.
Monty, do you still want to adjourn?
You're still moving.
Moved by Monty, is there a second?
Second. Oh, go
Seconded
ahead.
by, seconded by Rob. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Hayward City Council's adjourned. Thank you very much.
So this is just my thought on this. I think that we've got a new mayor coming in, and that's kind of why I table it until after the first of the year. But I think it doesn't matter.
Did your work get busier at the year end, or doesn't it?